Signs of democratic protests were evident in the House of Representatives from the start of U.S. President Donald Trump's State of the Union address, with women of the party wearing pink in protest, and Democrats also wearing blue and yellow clothing to symbolize solidarity with Ukraine. Some Democrats left the chamber in protest. At the start of Trump's speech, Democratic Congressman Al Green was escorted out of the chamber. Green stood up during Trump's speech, raised his cane in the air and began shouting. House Speaker Mike Johnson asked for order, but Green refused to sit down. He was eventually removed from the chamber. Democrats have been disrupting the Republican speech by chanting slogans and waving signs saying, "Save Medicaid," and "Musk is a thief." They also held up signs saying, "False," in response to some of Trump's claims. The president, after his speech was interrupted, said he couldn't make Democrats happy. "This is my fifth speech to Congress, and once again I look at the Democrats and realize that there is absolutely nothing I can say that will make them happy or make them stand up, smile or applaud," the U.S. president noted. As Trump spoke, some Democrats held signs and posters with messages, and Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib brought a small board into the room to respond to Trump's comments in real time. Many women in the party wore pink as a protest color, while others wore blue and yellow scarves and other clothing to symbolize solidarity with Ukraine.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
President Donald Trump says 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada will start Tuesday, sparking renewed fears of a North American trade war. According to Associated Press, he announced the coming tariffs at the White House on Monday. He says the tariffs are to force the two U.S. neighbors to step up their fight against fentanyl trafficking into the U.S. Trump provided a one-month delay in February as both countries promised concessions. But Trump said Monday that there was no room left for Mexico or for Canada to avoid the steep new tariffs. If Trump is imposing tariffs, we are ready, said Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly. We are ready with $155 billion worth of tariffs, and we're ready with the first tranche of tariffs, which is $30 billion. Joly said Canada has a very strong border plan and explained that to Trump administration officials last week. She said the diplomatic efforts are continuing. She spoke after Trump made his comments Tuesday.
So first and foremost, our efforts are still ongoing. We've been in contact with the Trump administration, and the Minister of Finance, Dominic LeBlanc, has been in contact with his counterpart, myself as well. And meanwhile, also, the Ministers of Public Safety and Immigration met with Tom Homan, the border czar of Trump, on Friday. It was a positive meeting, and we have a very strong border plan. We've invested in it. It is working. We're doing it for ourselves. And of course, it is part of the ongoing conversations we're having with the Trump administration. Let's be clear. If Trump is imposing tariffs, we're ready. We are ready with $155 billion worth of tariffs, and we're ready with the first tranche of tariffs, which is $30 billion, which is already known. So we are ready, and of course I'll have a conversation with the Prime Minister when he lands, because he's coming from London, and I'm going into a cabinet room right now to talk with my colleagues about the Canada-US relation, and of course the tariffs. We've done the work. We are ready should the U.S. decide to launch their trade war. We will be ready. We are not looking for this. We're not seeking this. But at the same time, let's all remember, when President Trump is talking about imposing tariffs, it must be linked to what's going on at the border, because he has an executive order that is linked to the fact that there is a national security crisis. And so we know that's not the case at the border. We know we have a good plan. We know that we've invested in it. We know that we've answered questions that the Trump administration had regarding our efforts. And so in that sense, based on that, we're having constructive conversations, but I've said it to you many, many times, there's a level of unpredictability and chaos that comes out of the Oval Office, and we will be dealing with it.